This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2024 Starcraft travel trailer. The model number is 26 BHS. BH for bunkhouse. S for slide out. So this is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. So you have regular crank down stabilizers. Then you have a kitchen area. You have a coiled sprayer here with a quick connect on this side. So there's going to be at least one port, maybe two for it to plug into. That's your cap for your dump hose there. For your dump valve. Of course, like a refrigerator. Just a dorm refrigerator. And this is where the spray port hooks up right here. So you get some fresh water there. You have a power awning with LED strip. Of course, you have outside speakers, and right below that you have this vent right here. This is for the range hood. So when if you're cooking and you want to vent to the outside, and you turn on the vent, this is where it comes out. I think you can open and close it with that little lever right there, or little switch right there, I guess you'd call it. So keep that in mind. You want it to flow freely to the outside if you're venting. That's the furnace vent there. This is just 120 AC here. And right here, this is the fill for the fresh water tank, right? Now, the most common way to get water to the trailer is going to be the city water hookup, which is on the other side. I'll show you that when we get over there. But if you're camping someplace without city water, you're boondocking or whatever, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So if you don't have city water, you still can use all your plumbing. You just have to pre-fill the tank. Okay? If you have city water, you don't have to worry about the tank or the pump. Low point drain, low point drains down here. You can sort of see them. Actually, they got a low point drain sticker there, but I think that's here. Let me make sure here. Let's see if I can get down that low. Yeah, that's actually the drain for the fresh water tank right there. So disregard that, unless the low points are there somewhere too. I don't see them, but anyway, that right there is for sure your fresh water tank drain. So keep that in mind. Okay. Your fold-out stairs. Now you always want this threshold piece to be flush with this threshold piece right there. The reason being that the door can bind up on it if it's too high. If you ever have that happening, just pull these pins inward and take the legs down a hole or two so they're a little bit shorter, and it'll solve your problem. So keep that in mind. If you're getting a hitch with this trailer, this is the hitch you'll get if you purchased one. This is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. So if you purchased a hitch for your trailer, this is what you'll get. That is your crank for your stabilizers. You also have one you can put in a drill here. It's a 3/4 inch attachment for a battery powered drill or impactor or whatever. Very careful if you're using the drill or impactor, raising and lowering the jacks. You don't want to extend them too hard. You don't want to lift the trailer with it by any means. You'd be surprised at how many people try that each year. But you don't lift the trailer, you just take the shake out of it, and when you're retracting them, don't retract them too tight. You don't want to damage them, so keep that in mind. Here you have a deep cycle marine battery, 2 LP tanks full with automatic changeover regulator. You have a power tongue jack, extend and retract with a hitch light on it. Now if this ever fails for any reason, you can pull this rubber plug right off the top here, and you can use your crank or that drill attachment, and you can actually operate this manually if you need to. So it's a way to get yourself out of trouble, so you can always get hitched or unhitched. Okay? Alrighty, so we'll come over here to this side and see what we have. Okay, so we just have your dump hose kit here, and a reducer to reduce your 30 amp short cord down to a 20 if you need to do that for, you know, packing it at home or anything like that, okay? Alright, so we keep moving past the slide room. Here we see your short cord here. It's a 30 amp cord. This is your docking station here. We talked about city water and potable water, so pay attention to this blue lever right here. You can see it's right here in the drawing. When you have it vertical, you have city water. So you put your city water hose right onto there and turn it on, and you have all your plumbing is going to work. Now I showed you could fill the tank on the other side in that port. You can also fill it from here. So if you were to go to the horizontal position like it shows right here, you can actually fill the tank with the hose on here. So there's two ways to fill the tank, okay? Now if you look over here, this is your black tank flush here. So if you want to flush your black tank, it's a good thing to do. It'll clean out the tank really well. Plus it'll clean off the sensors so you get a more accurate reading from them. They don't get, clogged up and corroded and give you a bogus reading. So it's a good thing. Flushing is a good thing to do. So the thing to remember, like it says on the sticker here, is always have the black tank valve open when you turn on the water to this flush. You don't want too much pressure to build up, so always flush it with the black tank valve in the open position. Okay, this is another quick connect for that hose, coiled hose and sprayer that I showed you. That can also attach there, and we have a cable and satellite through to the trailer right there, that coax. Okay, all from there. Your valves are right here, gray and black. Okay, gray is sink and shower water, black is toilet water and waste. You have your spare, of course. This housing tells us that it's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit, so if you're interested in that, we sell them here. You can also get them elsewhere. Just make sure you get the proper kit to fit that housing. Alright, also this is it's got a pre-hookup for a Lippert telescoping ladder kit, so if you ever wanted to add that, it's already got the hookup for it. It makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states every 90 days you should inspect the roof. You should be looking for damage caused by low branches or road debris flying up there. You should look at the sealant to make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get through, anything like that. So every 90 days you should take a look at the roof. Somebody should anyway, okay? That's important. Your low point drains are here, according to this. I know it was on, they had a sticker on the other side, but there they are right there. You can see them. That's the lowest points of the plumbing when you're winterizing, dewinterizing. So those are the low points there. This is your water heater. It works on both gas and electric. The switches are inside the trailer. So there's an electric heating element behind this cover here. And there's a LP gas burner here too. So both of those, the switches are inside. I'll show you those when we get in there. This is where you drain it. Right here, 1 16" 6-point socket to drain it. Never run the water heater without water in the water heater tank. So that's important. Make sure you always have water in there when you turn it on. This is a quick connect for your LP system. If you ever want to hook up an appliance, a gas appliance, just make sure you get the one that is designed for a travel trailer. It's a low pressure system. Okay. Okay, so let's go inside here. So as we first walk in the door, we see the carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It's glowing green like it should. If it's not glowing green, get it serviced. It's not expensive, but it's very important, so never just leave it if it's not working. Always get it taken care of, okay? Your keys are hanging here on your sink faucet. Okay, so let me get some lights here. Hold on. Okay, so awning in and out here for your power awning. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so the wind doesn't damage it. It'll flip it right over onto the roof, given half a chance. Your water pump is here. Remember, the water pump is for pumping water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. The electric function for your water heater, the heating element right there, that's what most people will run. When they get to the campsite, they plug in, they turn this on. They make sure there's water in the tank first, then they turn that on, and it'll give them hot water throughout their stay. But if they are going to use the showers, for example, and they need a little bit more water, they flip on the gas burner. It doesn't give them on-demand water by any means, but it'll give you faster recovery. So gives it a little bit of a boost, okay? And then of course your levels are all here. They graduate up in 1/3 increments. Your slide room switch is there. Always make sure there's nothing in the way, inside or outside, when you're bringing it in and out. Okay. Your TV, there's a mounting bracket here if you want to put a TV here. You can see this is where you would hook up right here. Now, you can shut this off, but if this is the switch for the digital antenna, so you want it, if you're using the, whoops, let me get it going here. He might have unplugged it. I think he did. But anyway, I'll check into that. We'll make sure it's fine. This is the, you always want this to be on. That tells you your digital antenna is on. I'll look at that before you get here and make sure it's staying on like it's supposed to. Your sound, there's a remote here. It has a USB drive, so you can, for your MP3s. It has a Bluetooth just to stream from your phone or tablet. So you've got AM/FM radio, 2 speaker zones. Zone 1 is inside the trailer. Zone 2 is outside the trailer. So it does everything you need and then some. Okay. Alrighty, this is a jackknife. Yes, it's a jackknife sofa, so it'll fold flat into a bed. The poles can come out from underneath the table, and you can set the tabletop onto these cleats that go all the way around and fold the cushions in and turn this into a bed also. Microwave works like any other microwave. Okay, this is the range hood we talked about. It vents to the outside, and it has a light on it. You always want this closed when you're traveling. Just don't close while the burners are hot. You spark this to light it. Let me see if he's got the gas turned on here. So these 3 are for the 3 burners here. So yep, it's that simple. The oven is a little bit different. Down at the bottom at the back, there's a pilot light. You can see it sparking back there, okay? So what you do is you go to the last knob on the right, and you go to the picture of the flame. You depress it, keep it depressed while you're lighting it. You spark this till you see the oven pilot light light. Once it lights, you still hold it in for another 10 or 15 or even 20 seconds, depending on how long it takes to heat up the thermocouple for it to stay lit. So you heat up the thermocouple. Then once you've done that, you go to whatever temperature you want. It'll cycle, but when you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously. But so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. This down here is your, and like I said, always travel with this in the down position. Just don't close it while it's hot. What's he got that off for? Let me go shut that AC off. I don't know why what he was doing over here. Let me find the thermostat. So with the thermostat, you just find the mode. You hit it once to light it up. So we'll go. That was furnace, so dry, cool. That's air conditioning there, heat, fan speed, dry. Let's find off here. Let's try this again here. So fan 0. Auto is the best way to run the air conditioning fan. Okay. And there you have it. So you just pick out whatever mode you want. Where was it? Oh yeah, so I was over here. So so this is the power converter. So when you're plugged into shore power, you have 120 AC right here, just like you'd have at home, and they're all labeled, right? All the breakers are labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, so you got 12 volt DC fuses, and they're all labeled. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. This is also a battery tender, so it'll charge up the battery. As long as you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much battery your battery on the tongue has and needs, and it'll always keep it charged up. So it's also a battery charger. So it's a distribution center for AC and DC power. It's an AC to DC power converter and a battery charger. Okay, and that's called the power converter. It automatically detects what type of batteries you have also, so you don't have to set it special. It'll sense what type they are. Okay. Alrighty. So your refrigerator, actually this one opens both ways. Okay. Nice size refrigerator. Let's see what else we have. Of course, your bunks and there's storage under here. This one comes up and there's storage space. The back panel with the screws holding it down, back section, that's where you access your water heater from. Okay. The valves, the water heater, and the valves and everything related to it. Alrighty. So here we have a GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. So remember that. Even if no matter if it's a regular looking plug, just a regular duplex, and you lose power to it, always think GFCI first and reset it to because they're all wired through it. Okay. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The toilet is typical RV toilet in that you have to use it. You have to put a dose of chemical in the bowl, and then you step on the pedal and hold it down till you put at least another gallon of water in there, or a gallon of water in there. You can use more than a gallon, just don't use less, and then you're all set. You can't, if you don't use chemical in water, it's running it dry. If you run it dry like that, it'll get clogged up. It'll smell terrible. It'll just be a mess. So you always want a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water. A little more is better than less. Okay. Alrighty. I think that covers it. Let me look around. Oh, we didn't do the front yet. Okay, here we go. So you have storage underneath your bed that you just push down. It's got gas cylinders. You have your solar controller for your solar panel. Okay. Now, right now it's set, and so when you unplug, it's telling you right now 13.7 volts DC, and we're gaining 0.0 amps and storing it in the battery. That's because the battery's charged right now, and we're connected to AC power. If you were to unplug it, it'll go right back to normal. On a day like today, it's probably about 4 or 5 amps you're gaining. Okay, so that's what that screen's telling you. The next one is total voltage coming from the panel, and then the temperature of it, and back to the most important one, 13.7 volts DC, 0.0 amps are being stored in the battery from converted sunlight. But like I said, that will change because it's topped out right now because your battery is totally charged and you're plugged into AC power. So as soon as that changes, you'll get an accurate reading of how much electricity is being generated from sunlight. Okay. Alrighty. So that's your solar controller. And also, that's the other way your battery is going to be charged. So your power converter charges your battery. When you're pulling it down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator charges the battery. And when you're in, just at all times, your solar panel will be charging it as it can, depending on the conditions outside. Okay? So keep that in mind also. That's the backer for your TV mount, and there's your hookups. Your escape goes like this. You push it all the way through, of course, all the way through, and then you pull the tab out, and that's simple. Okay, your sliding doors. Always make sure any like the sliding doors are latched. Anything that has to be latched in place, make sure you do it before you take off. You don't want anything flailing around in transit that can cause damage. So keep that in mind also. Okay. I think that covers it. Let me look around here. I think we've got it here. So, okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. You don't have to do it yourself, but you can have somebody else do it. You don't have to go on the roof. You can move the ladder around the perimeter and look at it that way. Just be very careful, of course. And right now, the water system has been, all the antifreeze has been purged out and replaced with fresh water, so you're all good for the summertime right now. Okay? Thank you very much.